there was none. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me. He had never given me insult. For his gold I had no desire. I think it was his eye. Yes, it was this. He had the eye of a vulture, a pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold, and so by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man, and thus rid myself of the eye forever. Upon the 8th night, I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. A watch's minute hands moved faster than mine did. Never before that night had I felt the extent of my own powers, of my sagacity. I could scarcely contain my feelings of triumph. To think that there I was, opening the door little by little, and he not even to dream of my secret deeds or thoughts.
How did you pass the night?
I passed the night well.
To think that there I was, opening the door little by little, and he not even to dream of my secret deeds or thoughts. I fairly chuckled at the idea.
Ho, ho, ho.
And perhaps he heard me, for he
Who's
moved on the
there?
bed. Now you may think that I drew back, but no. His room was as black as pitch with thick darkness. And so I knew that he could not see the opening of the door, and I kept pushing it on steadily. I kept quite still and said nothing. For a whole hour I did not move a muscle, and in the meantime I did not hear him lie down. He was still sitting up in the bed listening, and he said,
There's nothing but the wind there, but a mouse crawling on the floor.
Yes, he had been trying to comfort himself with these suppositions. He had found all in vain, because death in approaching him had striked with his black shadow before him and enveloped the victim. And it was the mournful influence of the unperceived shadow that caused him to feel, although he neither saw nor heard, to feel the presence of my head within the room. When I had waited a long time, very patiently, without hearing him lie down, I resolved to open a very, very little crevice in the lantern. So I opened it, you cannot imagine how stealthily, until at length a simple dim ray, like the thread of the spider, shot from out of the crevice and fell full upon the vulture eye. It was open, wide open, and I grew furious as I gazed upon it. I saw it with perfect distinctness, all a dull blue with a hideous veil over it that chilled the very marrow of my bones. But I could see nothing else of the old man's face or person, for I had directed the rays as if by instinct precisely upon the damned spot. And I have not told you what you mistake for madness is but acuteness of the sense. Now I say that came to my ears a low, dull, quick sound, such as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I knew that sound well, too. It was the beating of the old man's heart. It increased my fury, as the beating of a drum simulates the soldier into courage. But even yet I refrained, and kept still. I scarcely breathed. I held the lantern motionless. I tried how steadily I could maintain the ray upon the eye. Meantime the hellish tattoo of the heart increased. If you still think me mad, you will think so no longer, when I describe the wise precautions I took for the concealment of the body. The night waned, and I worked hastily, but in silence. Examined the corpse. Yes, he was stone dead. I placed my hand upon the heart and held it there many minutes. There was no pulsation. He was stone dead. His eye would trouble me no more.
When I made an effort of these labors, it was 4 o'clock, still dark as midnight. As the bell sounded the hour, there came a knocking at the street door. I went to open it with a light heart, for what I had to fear. There entered 3 men who introduced themselves with perfect swag as the officers of the police. A shriek had been heard by the neighbor during the night. Suspicion of foul play had been aroused. Information had been lodged at the police office, and they, the officers, had been deputed to search the premises. I smiled, for what I had to fear. I bade the gentleman welcome.
This woman from next door heard a shriek.
It was my own in a dream.
Okay, you can go home now. Are you sure it was your own streak?
Yep.
Doesn't an old man live here?
Yep. He's on vacation.
Where is he on vacation at?
He's at the Bahamas.
Do you mind if I search the place?
Sure, let's go.
Is this where he sleeps?
Mm-hmm.
Why is his bed unmade?
I slept in his bed
Why did you sleep in his bed?
because it's comfortable.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, it seems like everything's good in here.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell me?
Ah!
Oh no! You're under
He's
arrest
dead.
for killing the old man.
Ah!
You're going...